Imagine if your most regret in your life, personally or professionally, was you hiding behind a conversation you were too afraid to have. Now ask yourself, what's the cost of staying silent? Everyone is too scared to have difficult conversations because the other person might react in a way we aren't expecting them to. Or we are scared we might say the wrong things. Growing up in school, we are taught to communicate our feelings, our wants, or needs, so that we can get the help we need, even if it's taking a load of pressure off of our backs. Today I'm going to convince you to have difficult conversations by explaining how it can build trust, it prevents misunderstandings, and it encourages growth and problem solving. The first reason why you should have difficult conversations is because it builds trust. It shows honesty when taking action about something that is difficult. It shows respect by addressing issues that affect you personally. And it takes a mutual understanding to strengthen relationships. And it also makes it where you're able to face tough topics, which encourages each person to be responsible, which builds trust by allowing each person to have a side of the story. The second reason why you should have difficult conversations is to prevent misunderstandings. It opens up communication so that each person can explain their side, and so that there can be a solution before it all gets worse. Personally, I was in a situation with a teacher that I was working with who had her reason for doing things and I had my reasons of doing things, which didn't really go together. So she would get upset with me because I didn't do something the way she wanted to, and then when we would sit down and have conversations and explain why she wanted it this way and not this way, we came to an understanding about what the issue was. The third reason that you should have difficult conversations is because it allows you to grow and strengthen your problem-solving skills. By having difficult conversations, you're able to grow by learning different skills that you can take into the rest of your life, because we're always going to have difficult conversations when talking to someone that we're in a relationship with, talking to family, talking to friends, and even just personally or just professionally. You have to have those difficult conversations in order to get somewhere. It uncovers the real problems when you have these conversations, because you sit there and you just let it continue to cover up the real issue, then it becomes this big old mess of emotions and a big mess of just stress and everything else that nobody really wants in their life. Just like, for example, whenever I was working with that teacher, I was always constantly stressed because I was too scared to stand up for myself, and I was too scared to make sure that what I was feeling and what was happening was being known, which that is something that we are taught in school, and that was something that we were teaching the kids, but it was very hard to teach the kids that whenever I personally was not being able to explain my side, or I wasn't able to understand someone else's side because they weren't saying anything either. I think personally, having those deep conversations, even though it's really hard for me to talk, just because that's one of the things I deal with, it makes it really hard to live, basically. And having difficult conversations can also help with teamwork. It helps strengthen your understanding of each other. It helps you to just basically work better as a team because you're able to get things done the way they need to be. With that being said, I did notice that after having those conversations with that teacher, we were able to actually get what was needed to be done finished, because we worked together, and it wasn't just me doing it, or it wasn't just her doing it. It was both of us working together to get the main problem fixed. It did take a little while for us to get comfortable to do that, but I can say that it really, really, really helps, even just with my partner, with my family. I cannot handle the pressure of not being able to talk and just keeping everything inside. Being able to talk and let it go makes me feel better in any way. Today I went over the importance of having difficult conversations. These points I went over should help build relationships and strengthen your communication skills. Go out and just have those conversations, because it builds trust, it helps prevent misunderstandings, and it helps you to learn new skills and grow from your experiences so that you can take it into your life. So make sure you're having those difficult conversations.